Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel all about BI. This session is quickly going to be about the tips that we need to keep in mind when we are facing an interview, specifically on ADF. Okay, over the past, right, in the recent times, I would say I'm being asked by some of my subscribers and viewers that I'm going to attend an interview on ADF. What do I have to follow, or can you give me some tips, kind of? So whatever I know, I thought I'll put it in a video and present it for your benefit. Okay, so the first thing that I would want you to concentrate is creating a well crafted resume. Okay, the words that you are mentioning or putting in your resume shouldn't land you in trouble, but in a job. Just keep this in mind. Why I say this is all the questions that you're going to get in the technical interview will be around the words that you're mentioning in your resume. So make sure you're not manipulating too much, you're not mentioning something that you have never worked on, or don't mention anything that you don't know about. Okay, just copying pasting something from Google is not going to help you, but it's going to create a very bad impression. So avoid manipulations, be crisp. Whatever you want to tell, keep it in bulleted points, not in theoretical paragraph and other stuffs. And focus on JD. Third point is focus on JD. Each and every company or every job has its own requirements. Okay, it can be with respect to skills, locations, or technology processes. Each and every job will require certain different things from you, right? So based on the job description, make sure you are modifying, or you are creating your resume. Okay, so that is very important. So if I want to attend 5 different interviews, should I make 5 different resumes? Yes, if the job description seems to be a little bit different. Okay, so not all the job descriptions are same, right? So that's why I wanted to make sure you're modifying your resume whenever necessary, or as and when necessary, right? So just make sure that your resume should land you in a job but not in a trouble. Make sure you're having facts, or nearer to close to facts. Okay, and second is introduction. So the moment you have gotten a call on technical interview, you start preparing yourself very well. And the day of interview, right, how you are presenting yourself, how you are carrying yourself is very important. So what and all you have to concentrate is, make sure you communicate in a decent way. You need not be super duper in English, but the basic English is very important. It should showcase you in a very well manner. Okay, so communication is important, and attitude to present yourself, attitude to learn, everything is important. So make sure you're not too much dominant, you're not too much submissive. So make sure your tone is very well presented. Okay, and then work experience is also very important, because if you're going for a job based on our past experience, we'll be expected so much based on the past experiences, right? So these things are very important when you're introducing yourself. You have to tell what and all projects I have worked on, what and all jobs I have done. So all these things are important. So make sure you are preparing yourself for all these questions. And then comes the work experience. So as I touched upon, right, tell me about the projects you have worked for. This is the first question that any employer asks you whenever we are going for a technical interview. So this will give an impression, or this is the this question is going to be setting the basement for you for the further interview. Okay, based on that only you will be evaluated further. So you need to make sure whatever projects you have worked on, you're telling it very clearly. Okay, you need to touch upon the important aspects of your work experience that matches the job description. Okay, for example, if the job description is requiring skills on Databricks, you need to make sure I have worked on Databricks on this project. So my responsibility was this. We used to get data here, and we used to do these many transformations, and we used to keep the files in ADLS, or like that. You have to concentrate on the areas which matches the job description. All right, second is roles and responsibilities. You might have worked on 10 different projects. In each project you would have had different responsibilities and roles. So make sure you are covering everything, and instances where you faced any issues, or the workaround. So this question is common with respect to any technical interview, because people want to know how good are you facing problems. Okay, if some problem has come, how good are you facing it, okay, how have you overcome, okay, what are the things you did to overcome the issues and problems. So this is another question that you would be keeping on getting. So just make sure you have answer for all this, and then be strong with the basics. Okay, this is as I have mentioned here, if the building is strong, whenever the basement is strong, the building will also become strong, right? So make sure you are very very good in the basics. Okay, if you are good in basics, that itself will be giving you the required confidence to face an interview. So just make sure if it is on ADF, you are going to cover all these basic activities that we work on day in and day out, right? So set up and variables, if conditions, switch activity, custom activity, for each, get metadata activity, data flow and copy activity, plus some basic expressions. Okay, you will be evaluated on certain things revolving around these activities as well. So make sure you brush up. If you haven't worked on ADF for certain days and you want to attend an interview freshly, just make sure you are brushing up the concepts in these activities. All right, and attitude to learn, this is a very important point that we have to keep in mind for any technical interview, not only for ADF. So you have to showcase or show the interviewer that you are ready to learn anything at any point in time. If the job requires you to learn something totally new, you should be open to learn that as well. Okay, you cannot say I don't know this, I'm not comfortable, like that and all. We shouldn't be showcasing any negative aspects of learning, but you should always be ready for learning anything new. Okay, for example, you might not have worked on Databricks or Synapse or Cosmos DB or Logic Apps, but if the job requires you to learn, so you have to tell yes, I'll be learning it as and when required, right? So this is another thing, and this is the FAQs that I wanted to touch upon very quickly. Apart from the project experience, just make sure you're concentrating on some basic things like the differences between ADLS and blob storage, and the moment or the instances where we have to use Cosmos DB, some basics on Logic Apps, Databricks, some CI/CD process in ADF. All of these things you have to keep in mind when we are going for an interview. So that's all with me for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep supporting. All the best to all of you who are going to attend the interviews.